Hello! This is just a short little tutorial on getting started with skinning, or just generally helpful things I found when I've been skinning things in Live2D. Also, sorry, there's probably going to be a bunch of jump cuts because I've got a cough right now, and I keep on coughing between takes. So if the audio sounds like janky, like literally right now, and that's why. So to get started with skinning, I've got these wings here. Link the artist below. So I found for skinning things, this is just, I've just auto-meshed these, just did the standard. So what skinning is, essentially, and try and break it down as I put this here, is essentially breaking down your art mesh piece, which this is assuming that you have some Live2D knowledge already, and you know what I'm talking about. So basically this is, all of your layers are an individual art mesh, and then what you're creating here is the mesh itself. So I guess this is just the art, and then you're making the mesh, or you can auto mesh it. I just like to do it manually, just because sometimes it's just easier to do it this way. So basically, I'll just hit auto connect here. So what it does is that, but it's essentially breaking this up into pieces. So like this is a piece, and then this would be a piece. So like splitting it into these parts. So essentially, like if that part, then you just have this. So you can do it with a mesh like this. I'm just gonna do a quick little thing here. I usually do 4 points or something like this, because you see, especially with wings, they kind of have like a varying width and depth and everything, and I usually just go a little bit past this. I usually try to stay in the same direction. So you can definitely do it with an art mesh like this, but I usually find it looks kind of stiff, because you have sort of like thinking in like 3D model terms. Obviously you'd want to keep your poly count down, but you know, there's a certain point where it's like, this is not really that realistic. So usually just go back here. I usually just do 4 divide up here, and I usually find this works great. Some parts I even do an extra one just in case there's like a lot of movement. I usually do that for tails or very long hair pieces. I just find it looks better, but this works totally fine. So we're just gonna go with that. So now we have this piece. Let me just show you. So if I just put a warp deformer on this, you know, behaves as normal. But the second I put a rotation deformer on it, like, all right, got this rotation, and then just want to put a mesh on top, resize this here, and it doesn't work. It's because of the hierarchy that the deformer is not deforming the art mesh, it's deforming the rotation deformer, which is right here. So you can, yeah, basically do that, which is usually not what you want. So what I found you can do is basically just gonna do what I did before, just do the 4 points here. By the way, you don't have to delete the hidden part. This is just like in case you need a backup. I usually delete it because if I need to get it back, I can just re-import the image. The layer, I mean. So now it's gonna do the same thing like before. You put a warp deformer on it, you can resize it. It doesn't matter. It's going to be affecting the rotation deformer. So for the skin part, you just want to make sure it's open, like all of the layers are open, and like this. And so what you're gonna do is that you start from the bottom, and only on the art mesh, not on the rotations. Start from the bottom art mesh and just create a warp deformer. And they're gonna look, well, they can look kind of weird, they can be straight, but usually they're at strange angles. That's totally fine, just trust it. And you can name these whatever you want, they just default. So starting here at the bottom, and now you have this, and then go to the next one. Again, create a warp deformer. Go to that next one, and you just keep on making warp deformers only on top of the art mesh, not with the rotations. And you want to do that until you reach the top. And so now you have this strange hierarchy here. And again, you're going to start from the bottom, but this time you go to rotation, the rotation deformer at the bottom. Make sure it's selected. Go to modeling. Go to deformer. And I have this applied to a hotkey, but you're going to go to deformer, and it's right above validate deformer. It's apply deformer to child elements. All right. And again, just go from bottom to top. And so now you got these physics, you got everything set up. And just close these. Assumedly you'd have these in all one folder. Like, I'll just name this wing. Well, I misspelled that. But now you've got these lovely physics. You've already got that. And just put it on brow form. Look at that. And still do this, and you still got those physics. And so another thing, basically when you want to mirror something that you skinned. So just go here. I'm gonna say, just take that off, excuse me. So you go through, select everything, copy, paste. Just move this over here. That's about right. Delete this, okay, and you'll see immediately there's a problem. Okay, so why this happens is that you copy everything over, and it looks like you've selected everything, but you haven't selected the glue. So, just take this, lower the opacity. Basically go over here, select everything again, and then I'm holding down Control, and I'm selecting the glue, and copy, paste it, and there. I don't know how to end videos, so